I feel like I'm introducing myself so much at the moment.
Yeah, technically every 15 minutes.
Every 15 minutes, I am having to repeat my name and Fintech Daydreaming, and that we are here at Baltic Fintech Day. Fintech Minutes.
Days.
Yeah, days, day, minutes, hours. We're just here. It's fantastic. It's actually good to be here.
It is. It's kind of fun.
It is. It's not our first gig live.
Nope.
It's not going to be our last.
No, but it's actually our first speed dating kind of thing on stage. So again, first time for everything.
Just don't tell my fiance.
No, I bet they won't hear. It's not like these cameras are running or anything, so it's fine.
There's not cameras on. Are we being recorded? Oh, wow.
Well, you're already a superstar. So.
I know. And thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
Sort of, we weren't forgetting you were here. We went off on a little tangent there for a minute. So welcome back, everybody, for another 15 minutes of Fintech Daydreaming. And we've got another guest with us here. For everybody, do you want to just introduce yourself? Who are you? Who's the company? And what does your company do?
So, well, first of all, thank you for having us. So, my name is Rimantas. I'm Chief of Growth Officer at Ondato. So, Ondato is an onboarding and compliance platform. So, we're looking after the whole client cycle, like from the first touch point and, until it's till the very end, until it's offboarded. So, for the last 3 years in a row, we were recognized by the Financial Times as one of the fastest growing companies in Europe.
Wonderful. I'm going to take a slight detour for a minute. You said you're the Chief Growth Officer. I feel like every time we have a guest, we get a new title that gets, I keep saying I want to be Chief Fluff Officer. Fluff. Well, actually, Fluff as a derogatory term in some languages.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Associated with an industry you have nothing to do with and never want to have anything to do with. But what does a Chief Growth Officer do?
So basically, the main focus actually growing the company and looking after, the whole operational level within the client's approach.
So is that business development?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah?
Let's put it, yeah.
So you work with the customers and you understand their needs, their visions, their dreams, pain points, and figure out how you can solve those.
Yeah, that's the mingle.
And what tends to be the biggest pain points and needs that they have where you come and solve the day?
So there's many in general, you have to put, but if to highlight, the main one is the scaling without compromising the compliance. Because, if we look into today's, situations, the regulatory frameworks very dynamic and complex and they evolving almost on daily basis. So when the business is looking for a partner that can offer both secure and the frictional solutions that's where we bridge the gap.
So most banks and fintechs that I talk to and that we have on as guests, they tend to get very frustrated about the growth of new regulations, the compliance. There's just something new every minute.
Exactly.
But actually, in your world, you love it. You want more of it. Just bring it on.
Yeah. So that's, I would say, one of the core values at our company. We live by that in general. So we like to take that all of the compliance and all of the complexity stress on our shoulders so that our clients could focus literally on their growth and just focus on the business.
But it was specifically around you said onboarding.
So onboarding and all of the diligence, compliance, so basically the whole cycle until the very first touch point, when the user becomes your client and what's happening the next with it.
So it's down to KYC, sanction screening.
Yeah, KYC, KYB, forms, signatures, you name it.
Okay. Now, as usual, I want to circle back.
You're not going to mention AI again, are you?
No,
Okay.
I promise. No, maybe. Let's see. But you are the Chief Growth Officer, and you mentioned something interesting linked to that you are one of the fastest growing companies in Europe, as we see. But let's start. Are you based out of here?
Yeah, so the whole journey started in Lithuania, in Vilnius.
Yeah.
So the whole R&D is still there. The whole magic happens locally in the Baltics. Yeah.
Okay. And so you're working out of here from the Baltics, and then your customers are global, or?
Yes, like from day one, like you say, like when we started, the whole logic was like to cover the whole world, because the end goal is like to ensure that safety in the digital space.
Yeah.
So the whole solution is built like a Lego, so you can play around the way you like it, and you can build the process and the logic how it works the way you like it.
Yeah.
So we don't have like any limitations like where to operate it.
Okay. And it's basically onboarding, so KYC, KYB, I presume as well. Very useful components, but also very competitive area, I would say. There's a lot of companies that seem to be providing similar services.
Yeah.
So what is your kind of magic formula?
The magic formula, I would say, the mindset and the approach that we have towards our clients. Like we put very big emphasis on, their success, because, that's how we started, and the whole idea is actually to make them grow at that point, but at the same time, evolving, listening to the clients and their pain points and their real business problems, challenges. That's how we evolved as well throughout our platform, and that's how many features were built, just listening by the client's needs.
Okay.
Can I go? Go. I can go. Wonderful. KYC.
Yeah.
When I've spoken to banks in the past, it's an interesting beast. And the reason for that is banks have to pay for it. They know they have to do it. It's not necessarily something they can earn money on. But at the same time, whenever I've spoken in the past to banks around, this could be a utility. You could all get together and do the KYC together. They tend to say, no. We've got different risk appetites and different risk models to the other banks, and so we don't want to trust them that the KYC is right or wrong. We want to do it our way. But you're delivering a service, so how do you manage to work with that view from the banks?
So you see, yes, that's the right way at the moment. Everybody's thinking, but if we look already, like there are discussions going on that sharing, information sharing, and not on the particular like data sharing, but more like the signals or whatsoever. So that like to ease the whole process for the end user at that point. But at the same time, you see like the banks still can have additional safety layer, because there are like additional signals coming in. So it's still going, but I would say still needs some law change as well to be in place, so that it would be like open. But we've got GDPR at that point. So yeah.
Now, I'm just thinking digital identity. We're all these days talking about the growth of digital identity. There's a common European model around this. It's
the EUDI.
The EUDI. Isn't KYC going to disappear once we've got digital identities?
Not really.
No?
No, but
Tell me more.
So basically, in my view, I would say is that all of the digital ID will be just additional channel, basically. So yeah, we will have to help the company still like to onboard. We still need to understand who that person is who's opening the digital ID. So at that point still yes, there will be, I would say, with the digital IDs there will be just additional options for the users to onboard within the banks, fintechs, to open account and just to operate.
So once we finally get the EU digital identity in scale, of course, that's going to make onboarding faster, easier, more reliable, and highly automated as well, I would expect. But we're not there yet. So this kind of notion of EKYC, basically being able to onboard with a remote connection and take a picture of your passport, your ID, whatever. These online onboarding solutions, which I believe is part of your stack as well. Like when this started, I remember like almost like 10 years ago, the first companies kind of came to this space, and they claimed that they had a fantastic onboarding process, fully automated. And then turns out that it was just 500 guys in India looking at pictures and saying that this might or might not be okay. What is your level of automation today when it comes to these onboarding processes?
Well, we've got quite good one. So we're operating already like since 2018, like heavily. So the automatization, we've got like all of the LLMs, all of that kind of stuff. So there's big impact. But I would say as well, one of the differentiators is that depending on the client's like risk appetite, they can combine all of that 4I level principle, as we call it. So there's like a automated one, and at the same time like human interaction. So there's a possibility to fully have like a fully automated process, but at the same time like it can be a combination of it. So just depending on the risk appetite.
I've got an interesting question associated with that. Who takes accountability? If you are managing the onboarding process for a bank, and it turns out that you've okayed someone of bad intentions, do you take the accountability and the impact of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the bank turns around and says, "Bad boy, now pay us lots of money."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we take a full accountability for that.
And you do that with AI, or you do it with lots of people sitting in India? Or, what's the magic sauce here?
So the magic sauce is, we've got like people, KYC team. It's fully based in EU, in Lithuania. So we try to keep everything like under the EU to cover all of the GDPR. But the whole engine is like built on the LLMs and everything. So there's a combination of everything.
So the continued development of the LLMs, the ability to fake identities, passports, everything else. I mean, this must be keeping you awake at the moment.
Yeah, but that's the most interesting part, because yes, fraudsters evolving, they finding all of the ways, but at the same time you see even if you've got a good solution whatsoever, you don't need to start sleeping. You need to just think forward and actually look for different solutions. So, we've got the whole innovation team internally that actually makes the magic for the future. It's they most likely I sleep quite well, to be honest, but the team they might have some struggles there. But yeah.
What do you think is the future of onboarding?
The future of onboarding. So I would say digital IDs still, if we put into this perspective, yeah.
And we personally know KYC because we've all went through some form of KYC process in our lifetimes already, at least as adults, right? But something that is a little bit less known is the KYB, which again, know your business. So these processes are almost like infinitely more complex than KYC. Of course, KYB is based on KYC. So again, there's a group of individuals that form a company, and then there needs to be the kind of connection to the beneficial owners and all these things. Now, these processes differ per bank quite a bit. So, I mean, you work with KYB processes with many banks. What is your fit to different kinds of banks, is my question here. We have a lot of bankers listening, so they are kind of wondering, would I be able to use your solution for KYB, for example? And if not, then why not?
So you see, I would say they're already using it, to be honest. And you see, like the main difference in general is how deep their policy is written, like how deep they want to go into understanding that company in general. But the key is that the combination of like public sources and like governmental registries that solves the pain point, and then the whole management of that client happens like throughout the platform. So what you can do, like when to renew it, what to ask additionally, etc., etc. So that's the ease for them.
The reason I kind of came to that question was that in the past, even in the Nordics, we've had multiple attempts of different banks coming together to create a KYC utility and KYB utility in order to get scale and not replicate these processes across the banks. And one of the reasons why they seem to be failing, other than of course banks are very impossible to working together in general, but is the fact that these requirements when it comes to the strictness of the KYC and KYB differ so much between banks. So that's why I was kind of wondering is where do you fit in that scale? Kind of the banks that require everything and even more, and then there are people who are doing kind of the thing that the regulation just needs to get done. Where do you fit in this picture?
So I would say that's a very good question. But you see, the whole idea and how, we we focus and we put the biggest emphasis is actually, that ease of the process for the end user, but at the same time, ensuring the trust and the safety for, for the banks, for the fintechs, whatsoever. So, combination and balancing, between both, that's the key.
We are unfortunately yet again running out of time. This is fantastically fast. 15 minutes is not enough time to get into the details. It's been fantastic to talk to you about KYC, KYB and onboarding. As you depart for today, is there anything that you want to sow as a seed into everybody's minds so that they remember you?
So I would say, for everybody, don't try to solve everything, on your own. There is a strong, especially in the Baltics, we've got a very strong ecosystem and, a very professionals with the expertise. So just combine that knowledge and, collaborate just to solve different pain points and share, don't keep it for yourself, share it with everybody.
Excellent.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.